All right, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to keep pages in memory. Because a lot of times what you'll have is you'll have a page which you go from one section to another section, and then you want to navigate back and you want to keep state. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I updated the demo app to do that already, but I'm going to walk through this real quick. I only did this for the TMDB page, so not for all these examples, but you'll notice if I go into TMDB, so I'm hitting enter, and then I'm on this page, and now I hit the B button for back. It will go right back, and TMDB is still highlighted, like it receives focus back, and the page is transition. So how did I do all this? So the first thing is in the index or wherever you have your router, I changed this so now examples is a top level route, and I put TMDB under examples. Okay, that's very important. And then there's a route here for the examples page. So what happens is when you navigate to /examples, it will execute the portal component, and then it will just execute the portal component and show that on the screen. And then if you go to /examples TMDB, it's going to create the TMDB component. So it's going to render that component. Okay, so hopefully you're still with me. You'll notice that here I'm on /examples. So this is loading the index page for examples, which is nothing, and it's just the top level component. Then when I hit TMDB, I updated the route for this. You'll notice the route now is examples/TMDB. And inside of the pages, you have to make some simple changes. So my portal, I had to change to resolve children. And there's a few things in here. So the first thing is portal now has props. So you want to pass in props. And the important thing is it's passing in children, where the children is the TMDB page itself. And we want to use the children helper from Solid.js to figure out the resolve children. And the reason for this is if you call props.children or you access props.children, the TMDB page has to be rendered. So Solid.js has to do all those calculations. And if you try to access just props.children, it's going to render it multiple times. So what this does is it memoizes it so you're only rendering props.children once. And then we're going to use this variable down on our page. So right now I'm also using the focus stack. So I think I introduced the last video, but the focus stack is this focus stack provider, and it creates a context for storing what element has focus and what's the previous element that has focus. So I'm going to go back into the portal, and I just have very simple logic here. So this is the main examples page. I added a ref to it, and whether it's hidden or shown is based on whether there's children or not. So as examples is a top level page, which is this portal page, this will be visible. And then as soon as there's a child that becomes available, this will become hidden. And I could even have a transition here to say, fade the alpha from 0 to 1 and slowly fade out this page as the TMDB page is loading. So now that resolve children is here, this is going to turn to 0. What you have to do is you have to add in this little thing down here. So resolve children, this is like props.children and all your components. That is the TMDB page. That is any page that you want in there. And all I'm doing it is I'm doing it as a sibling of the top level element. So this element, once a child is there, is going to be alpha 0. So it's going to be completely hidden. And then the next page is just going to be a sibling of it, which is going to make it be basically another full page. But it will exist as a sibling. The other page is hidden. This one will be there. So they'll both be present on the page. They're both available. And inside my TMDB, it automatically does its focus, and nothing really changes inside of this page. So this all works the same. I added a back button. So the back button is just on the app. I think it's on the app. On back, all on back does is navigate -1. So it's just going to the previous route. And so the last piece that we have here is when we hit back, what I'm doing is I created an effect on the portal page to restore focus. So create effect when there is no resolve children because there's no subpage, restore focus from whatever previously had focus. And that's really the best way that I found to do the keep the page in memory for right now. I will briefly talk about the other way, which I put a link on the GitHub for this in the Solid.js router. But there's another way, like this is the hash router. And what you can do is rather than creating a route, I think what they do is they create the page here, so you could like create the browse component and then do some kind of like show and hide it inside of the route when it became available. But this means that these pages would basically always be rendered, always be in memory. It would be a little bit tricky. The other thing with this is like the downside is, what I've seen is if you have a browse TV page, right? And a browse movies and a browse whatever, and then you go to an entity page, it would be browse TV slash entity. So sometimes you'll have duplicate routes because of this. And all it is just a little extra routing, but it doesn't affect, like, you still have the same component. You just want to know, you can go to slash browse slash TV slash entity ID, and you could also go to slash browse slash movies slash entity ID. And that way it keeps the routing working. But that's all I have. If you have any questions, feel free to have comments, like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and please share with others. Thanks all for watching.